See you later, Keagan Johnson. The Iowa wide receiver has officially announced that he will be leaving Iowa and entering the transfer portal on Monday. I'll provide some reaction here in a moment, but first, I want to thank Iowa Floor Covering. That company has been sponsoring us throughout football season. I want to thank them and tell you about their products. Their Tough Core Click Together 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring. Check it out at a great rate right now with self-installation. Visit iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. All right, so the news on this Thursday morning, Iowa wide receiver Keagan Johnson making it official on Twitter. He will be entering the transfer portal on Monday. There has been speculation about this for months, and in recent days, this news became known that he would be doing this, and he makes it official on Twitter today. So what does it mean for Iowa and the wide receiver room? I mean, this is a room that was already thin. They have struggled to recruit at that position. They do have 3 commits for the 2023 class. And believe me, folks, it's going to get thinner here soon. So what does Iowa do? Well, they're going to go to the portal, all right? Tom Kakert, a guy that very reliable on the Iowa beat. He has talked about this. Certainly check out his podcast at HawkeyeReport.com. But Iowa will be going to the portal to grab a couple of receivers, I think, at the minimum. I can tell you, I already know of one specific receiver that they have reached out to, contacted, and there will be more. There are more, believe you me. And you may say, well, Iowa's forced to do this because they're already thin and they're getting thinner at wide receiver. And you would be right. But the argument could also be made, Keagan Johnson didn't play much this year. He did play a little bit on Friday, as we reported here from the Hawkeye of the Storm, but he was not a factor at any point this season. Did he have potential? Absolutely. He's a 4-star kid. Dad was a great athlete at Nebraska. Could he be headed back to the Huskers? That's possible. But he didn't play this year. So you move a guy who wasn't contributing as it stood already and potentially bring in a guy who is healthy and a guy who can contribute immediately. We also understand that receivers are constantly entering the portal. There are, I don't know how many receivers just from Alabama entered the portal yesterday, or at least announced they would be entering the portal. And that's just one example. There are guys across the country. Now, you may not like the fact that it's turned into a bit of a free agency, or as Tom Kakert has said, the wild, wild west, but that is the reality of college football. And folks, I'm here to tell you, if you don't already realize this, Iowa will have more players entering the portal very soon. Alex Padilla already in, Josh Volk already in, and now Keagan Johnson in. Again, there will be more. So hang on to your hats, brace yourselves, because there will be more. But the good news is Iowa has already committed to going to the portal at quarterback, as we've talked about, and at wide receiver. News also broke today that Iowa would be getting a visit from a former 4-star running back, a guy who is transferring from Stanford, and that is Arlen Harris Jr. Iowa recruited him in the 2022 class. He went to Stanford, played very minimally in his first year. David Shaw steps down. Arlen Harris is in the portal. He'll be visiting Iowa City on Saturday, and that's at running back. That's not even Iowa's biggest need. So they are in the portal, folks. Again, news will be breaking here soon. More news. Just sit tight. May make you feel unsteady because we're not used to this here at Iowa. But the reality is this is not the last of such news. But Keagan Johnson will be moving on. He cannot be contacted legally. He cannot be contacted by the rules until Monday. And again, will he go to Nebraska or someplace else? We'll just have to wait and see. But best wishes to Keagan Johnson. I have nothing against Keagan Johnson. Never spoke to him. Never had the opportunity to speak to him at Media Day in the fall. I wish him all the best. If he chooses to go play for Nebraska, he chooses to go play for Nebraska. If there was tampering going on, there's tampering going on everywhere, folks. That is the reality of college football in this 2022 era. And so you move on and accept that this offense is going to look different next year. That's probably a good thing. And believe you me, the personnel on the field is going to look vastly different. So stick right here, folks, because there will be more news dropping, and I'll be here with you throughout it all to provide you with the news and my reaction during a very busy month of December ahead. Yes, it's only December 5th. The portal window's still a few days away.